You know what's scarier than student loan debt? Realizing you picked the wrong major and now you're stuck with both the debt and a career that you hate. But here's the plot twist. Some college majors are like cheat codes for your career. They not only pay off your loans, but they also open doors to work opportunities that most people don't even know exist. And today we're going to be diving into something I wish someone had told me before I racked up $300,000 in pharmacy school debt. We're going to be looking at 10 of the best college majors that actually pay off their loans and set you up for remote work success. And trust me, as someone who went from working 80-hour weeks in pharmacy to building a multiple six-figure online business, I know a thing or two about picking career paths that actually pay off. Now, before we dive in, here's what makes this list different. One, these majors all have proven work potential, many of which are remote work jobs, because I know most people on this channel are interested in remote work. Two, they're based on real salary data, not just wishful thinking. And three, I've personally seen people in these fields transition to six-figure remote careers. So whether you're a high school student planning your future or someone looking to pivot careers, grab your notes because we're about to save you years of trial and error. Now, before I trigger half the internet, let me tell you something that colleges don't want you to know. While they're busy selling you dreams and debt, nobody's teaching you about actual wealth building. And look, I recently found this card that gives you up to 15% cash back and 4% APY. That's basically free money, and it's designed for college students. And it's called FirstCard. And here's why it's different. No credit check, no crazy fees, and you can't go into debt because you can only spend what you deposit. So it's kind of like a credit card, but with training wheels. And it's great for building your credit. And that's one of the most important things that you absolutely need to be doing while you're in college, because it's going to allow you to buy a house or even get approved to start a business. And unlike these degrees that I'm about to roast, this card actually helps you build wealth instead of destroying it. So check it out. I'll put it down in the description and the pinned comment below. All right, so number one on the list is going to be nursing. Now, I know what you're thinking. Isn't nursing all about working in hospitals? Probably going to see blood. And yes, some jobs are like that, but not all of them. Now, let me break down the numbers. Here's the initial investment. You're probably going to be looking at $40,000 to $80,000 for a 4-year BSN program. And I know sounds like a lot, but right out of the gate, new nurses are pulling in probably about $81,000 a year. And in many cases, they can make up to $125,000 a year. And that's just the beginning. And here's where it gets really interesting. Travel nurses can make multiple six figures a year. And this is a health-related career, so it's basically one of the most stable careers out there. So with salaries this high and growing demand, most nurses can demolish their student loan debt in about 3 to 5 years. And then after that, it's pure profit. Next is a computer science degree. And everyone knew that I was going to say this one. This is a great degree. And even though it has gotten harder to get jobs in technology lately, it's still a heck of a lot better than just about any other industry out there. Now, first, let's talk about the investment. You're probably going to spend about $40,000 to $60,000 for the full degree. But if you followed my advice on how to get a computer science degree much faster by going to a school like WGU or Thomas Edison State University and doing the accelerated route, you can get one for much less than that, and you can do it in 6 months to a year. So I did make a video on that, just saying, you know, it's a pretty good idea. Not for everybody, but can be great for the right person. But here's where it gets spicy. Starting salaries are about $68,000 to $123,000 a year. And hold on to your keyboards because there's a 26% growth rate in this field. So yeah, pretty good. And there's so many different industries you can work in. Artificial intelligence, machine learning, etc., etc., etc. And it's really exciting as well. And a lot of software engineers can work from home or work remote. So yeah, everyone knows this one is good. Not going to linger on it. The next one is going to be an information systems degree. Now, there's a lot of different information systems related ones. There's like management information systems, computer information systems, etc. They're all pretty good. And this is where you're basically getting paid to be paranoid because you have to protect the information, aka protect the data. And speaking of protection, you'll be protecting your financial future because the investment is probably about $45,000 to get this degree, and you'll make about $92,000 to $148,000 a year. And there's a 33% growth rate. And a lot of people actually don't even have to get their bachelor's. Many of them will just get their associate degrees to get their foot in the door, and they'll go from there. In fact, many of them don't have to get a degree at all, which is kind of one of the arguments against getting one of these degrees, but it's pretty much undebatable that it's a little easier to get a job if you have a degree. So I can see both sides. And the need for this is not going to go away. Every company needs security. Cyber threats are increasing, and everyone needs to collect and protect data. And of course, there's a lot of remote work opportunities out there. So the loan payoff math here is simple. High salary plus massive demand equals student loans disappearing faster than data in a security breach. And unlike other tech jobs, you don't need to learn 50 programming languages either. Now, the next one we're going to go back to healthcare with, but it's also a little bit of business. And that is going to be healthcare management because somebody's got to run the whole show. And this one costs about $39,000 to get the degree, but you're looking at making about $70,000 $71,000 to $124,000 a year, and there's a massive 29% growth rate. And a professional breaks it down perfectly in this post where they say that you've got multiple career paths, clinic management, healthcare policy, and operations oversight budget management. But here's the real tea, straight from another insider. You won't hit six figures on day one. You'll probably start at the front desk, but then you can level up with epic certifications and you can move into something like consulting. So there's a lot of opportunities for you. There's a lot of different places that you can go. And the best part about healthcare management is, unlike most healthcare degrees, you can often work remotely, and hospitals aren't going anywhere. Think about it. Stable industry, growing demand, remote possibilities, clear path to six figures. Now, speaking of careers that are all about calculating risk, actuarial science. This is one of those degrees where you're basically calculating risk and reward. And if you got this degree, you're probably pretty good at calculating risk and reward because it's only about $42,000 on average, but you're going to be making $106,000 to $195,000 a year. And there's a 22% growth rate. So your chances of getting a good job are pretty good. Now check this out. Someone started in 2016 at $56,000 a year, and you fast forward to 2023 and their new intern is making $100,000 base salary, plus bonuses, plus stock. So needless to say, this one has grown a lot in the last 10 years. Now there are a significant amount of certifications you have to get with this one. You also have to be really good at calculating risk, predicting trends, and you'll be in charge of saving companies a lot of money. Plus you get to work remote in many cases. So yeah, this one's a no-brainer. Next one is data science. Now, data science in many cases, they're gonna want you to get like a master's, especially if you want to become like a data scientist, and bachelor's degrees generally cost about $54,000. And the starting salary can be as much as $106,000 to $189,000 a year. Now, keep in mind, this is for data scientists. However, there are other positions you can get into, and data-related careers in general, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, are growing at 23%, which is amazing. And even the most negative tech professionals will tell you that this is the industry that has a future. Why? Because other industries might face layoffs, but data scientists' skills stay relevant, the demand keeps growing, and remote work is standard. And just about every industry needs data scientists. Tech companies, healthcare, finance, e-commerce, government, etc. And the best part is all you need is a computer, an internet connection, and a brain for analytics. Plus coffee. It's optional, but recommended. Now let's talk about finance. And you could also add accounting to the list as well. But this is a degree that teaches you to speak money. And it's going to cost you about $51,000 for the degree, but it's a solid 21% growth rate, and you can expect to make $54,000 to $98,000 a year starting. Plus, there's certain elite finance jobs where you can even make multiple six figures a year just starting out. And one finance grad puts it perfectly. There's almost zero downside to getting a finance degree. Why? Because you can work in banking investment firms, corporate finance, financial compliance, and remote consulting, as well as many more. But wait, there's more. Another industry pro drops this truth bomb. Finding my finance career was a life changer. Along with accounting, it's the most useful discipline in business school. And here's what makes finance perfect for remote work: digital banking boom, online trading platforms, virtual financial planning, remote compliance work, and the fact that the more you understand how money works, generally speaking, the better off you're going to be. And not just for your job, but also for investing and just making good financial decisions. And the best part is your finance knowledge helps you manage your own money, pay off those loans faster, invest wisely, and build wealth. And remember, every business needs finance people because money never sleeps and neither do the opportunities. And speaking of business, the next one on the list is going to be a business degree. Now, not all business degrees are good, but generally speaking, when you consider all the different factors, we're talking the difficulty of the degree, how much you make generally speaking, how much it costs. Business degrees actually rank pretty well. Now, not all of them are the best, and I've made videos about that, but degrees in business aren't that expensive. They're like $36,000, and starting salary is about $59,000 to $97,000. And according to BLS, the growth rate is 19% and climbing. And this Reddit user drops this wisdom. Made six figures back in 2005, laid off in a recession, started at $80K in 2012, back to six figures again, all thanks to their degree in business. And some particularly good stuff to learn is anything about logistics or supply chain management, because that's always going to be relatively important because it's physical goods that are being moved. So yeah, business degrees in general, they get a bit of a bad rap, and I can see why, because honestly, I feel like you don't learn that much from business degrees. I mean, some of them are really useful, like accounting and finance, but a lot of them you don't learn all that much. But with that being said, people still get hired for them, and that's all that really matters at the end of the day. Now, I'll add on to that, number 9 is going to be a management information systems degree, because that's kind of a hybrid technology degree and business degree. And I'm not going to go into details on that one. I've talked about it quite a bit, but I think it's amazing because you get both of those skill sets, and that makes it incredibly flexible because you can go into a lot of different business related careers and technology related careers. So yeah, that one's really good. And next is going to be healthcare related degrees in general, but for this particular one, I'll talk about physical therapy. Healthcare related degrees, generally speaking, are going to be pretty good investments. It's one of those careers where it's almost impossible to outsource. You know, they're not able to outsource it to other countries. It's almost impossible to automate. No one wants an AI taking care of their health. And there's also a lot of legal compliance issues. So there's always going to have to be actual people to be responsible if something goes wrong. So it's very, very safe. Now, the investment range can go all the way from 17 to 135,000. So you do got to be pretty careful with this one because you can rack up the debt. With that being said, the starting salary is $57,000 to $86,000 a year, and it's growing at 19%. And medical related careers are the most recession-proof careers. They're pretty much the most stable jobs out there. And this person, for instance, started at $32 an hour with no experience in Boston, and they said that PTA positions are in high demand. And generally speaking, that's what you hear. Plus, there's growing telehealth opportunities, and you might actually be able to get a remote job. So yeah, this is really good. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I don't make these videos all the time because I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, but I do like to update you guys once in a while on the college degree market and the landscape. Let me know if you want more videos like this, and definitely sign up for that kind of starter beginner credit card that's not actually a credit card, but it still builds your credit, because that's very important, and you're probably going to want to buy a house or start a business in the future. So you might as well start building your credit now. And also check out the video on the most recession-proof college degrees by clicking right here.